Cam Akers and Van Jefferson might be in danger of losing their starting jobs. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Stay tuned. So here we are on the Rams wire, and we were all there for that Rams vs Seahawks game last week, which actually went very well, but some surprising faces actually did better than some of our starters, and that brings into question, should Cam Akers be the backup to Kyren Williams? And also Van Jefferson, should he be starting once Cooper Kupp eventually comes back? Are these two going to lose their starting spots on the Rams, as we're going to be talking about in this video? So Cam Akers could be in danger of losing the Rams' starting running back job. The Los Angeles Rams shocked many by taking down the Seattle Seahawks on the road in Week 1 with a convincing 30-13 victory. In the impressive win over the Seahawks, the Rams deployed Kyren Williams more than Cam Akers in that game. So something to note, I believe Cam Akers actually had more carries than Kyren Williams. However, Kyren Williams was in the game a considerable amount more because they like him in pass blocking. That could also indicate the backfield, how the backfield will shake out moving forward. Akers began the game as a starter, which is good to see because last year that was a kind of a shock to a lot of fantasy owners that Cam Akers didn't start last year, and Darrell Henderson did. But he quickly gave way to Williams. At the end of the game, Williams was on the field for 65% of offensive snaps, compared to Akers only receiving 35%. When looking at the box score or watching the game, it's easy to see why Sean McVay elected to stick with Williams over Akers. Williams concluded the contest with 52 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns on 15 attempts. It's very solid numbers. Meanwhile, Akers was extremely inefficient with 29 rushing yards and a touchdown in 22 attempts. And it kind of sucks because not only that, but also Cam Akers, had a 12-yard run. So if he didn't have that 12-yard run, he would have had 17 yards on 21 attempts, which is like literally less than a yard. He had a lot of plays that were blown up in the backfield for negative yards as well. Inefficiency has been a major issue for Akers throughout his career, falling short of averaging more than 5 yards per touch in any of his 3 seasons. Akers also failed to receive a single target in the passing game, proving he's still not viewed as a viable weapon in the Rams' aerial attack. There was actually a game against, I believe, the Seahawks a couple years ago when Cam Akers was a rookie, I believe, or maybe it was a sophomore season. But he had like a 50-yard catch, like literally over. I can't even remember, but he had like a 50-yard catch and run. So he is, a pass catching running back. He just doesn't do it as often as he should. The former second-round pick has never eclipsed 18 targets in any of his first 3 seasons, and the Rams seemed to trust Williams more in pass protection on Sunday. Coming out of Notre Dame, Williams also flashed more as a pass catcher, combining for 77 receptions, 672 yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns in his final 2 years of college. Entering the season, we heard that Williams could have a role in the offense behind Akers, but we saw against the Seahawks was more than just a complimentary role. Given the current state of the Rams, they don't have any reason to continue starting players who aren't considered definitive building blocks for the future. If Week 1 is any indication of how McVay will handle this backfield during the season, then Akers is in serious danger of losing his starting job to Williams sooner rather than later. Something this article doesn't mention is that Cam Akers is also in a contract year. So if Cam Akers isn't showing that he is a considerably better back than Kyren Williams, this could be his last season with the Rams, or he could be getting a pretty bad contract and then also might not be starting like he wants to. So if Cam Akers wants to do, more, or if he wants to get a good contract somewhere else or with the Rams, he's going to have to do a lot more than he's doing at the moment, and he's going to have to be much more efficient. So, yeah, Cam Akers could be in danger, and then also Van Jefferson did not have a great game either. Matthew Stafford still does have a ton of trust in Van Jefferson, though, but this could be Stafford just trying to make his or gain his wide receivers some more confidence. But despite this disappointing drop, so The Rams created a lot of big plays in Sunday's win over the Seahawks, including a 44-yarder from Matthew Stafford to Tutu Atwell and a 30-yard reception by Tyler Higbee. Van Jefferson had a chance to join the fun with a deep ball after he sprung wide open across the field, but the pass clanked off his hands and fell to the turf. The play could have gone for a long touchdown had Jefferson caught it, but fortunately, the Rams overcame the drop and still scored a few plays later on the same drive. Stafford talked about his trust in Jefferson despite the disappointing drop, and it hasn't wavered at all. And something I do want to note is that, if Van Jefferson did catch that ball, yeah, we're probably having a different conversation today. But still, he only had, I believe, 5 targets and 4 receptions for like 26 yards, while Tutu Atwell had 8 targets and 6 receptions for 119, and Puka Nacua had 15 targets and 10 receptions for 119 yards as well. So even if he does get that and score that touchdown, yeah, it's going to be looking a lot better for him. But since he didn't, I mean, the Rams are probably looking at Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua as starters over Van Jefferson when Cooper Kupp comes back. I'm not going to say that Van Jefferson isn't going to be involved, because he is going to be, but if he continues to play not as well or not as good, then Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua could be those starters, considering how well they played. But it's all up to how they continue to play as well. Yeah, just tell him, this is coming from Matt Stafford. Yeah, just telling him coming right back to him, and did later in the game on a couple of instances. Stafford said of what he told Jefferson. So made a great third down catch for us. Obviously, I'm disappointed. We had a chance of making a big play. We score on that drive anyways, and we overcame that, which is awesome. I don't want those plays to happen, but you know what? There's going to be time, probably this season, where he's running free and I'm going to miss him. And that's a part of football. It's an imperfect game. It's played in the gray. I got a lot of trust in Van Jefferson, his ability to go out there and make plays. He's done it for a long time for me in this offense. So excited to see how he shows up next Sunday. Here is the play in question. We're not going to listen to this guy's commentary. But yeah, here's the play. Basically, he throws. He's wide open. Literally all he has to do is go up and catch it, and he just absolutely drops it. He's mad at himself. Literally right in the hands. As an NFL wide receiver, you got to catch that. But yeah, pretty much, that's probably would have been a touchdown. But yeah, Jefferson's been a deep threat for the Rams in the last 3 years and remains one this season. However, he has had some trouble with drops in the past, though he only dropped 1 pass last year. He had 9 in 2021 and 1 this year already. So yeah, we'll have to see how Van Jefferson does. With Kupp out, he's still going to be the starter alongside Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua. But once Kupp comes back, these next 3 weeks are going to be like a tryout for these 3 wide receivers for who's going to be starting. And I know the Rams really like Tutu, and I know the Rams really like Puka. The Rams really liked Van Jefferson before the season, but if he doesn't produce, he'll be that 4th guy. But this is the good thing. Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua looked amazing, and Van Jefferson has potential. So the Rams wide receiver room, not as bad as people thought it was at the beginning of the season, and it will get better. That was a frustrating drop, but we'll have to see what happens with the rest of the season for Van Jefferson and the rest of that wide receiver room. But what do you guys think about this? Are we overreacting to Van Jefferson, or are we overreacting to Cam Akers? Let me know in the comment section below, and then also make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.